Hi everyone, my name's Lauren and welcome to my channel. Today the video I've got for you all is I will be talking through all of the books that I've decided to add back onto my TBR that I almost unhauled. I've done this unhaul probably like 6 months ago and they've just been sitting in my house, and now for one reason or another I've decided to actually wait. I want to keep these books, so I don't want to get rid of them, but because I want to keep them, they're now on my physical TBR. So because I've already filmed my entire physical TBR, I want to also talk you through these books so you can know what other books I've been adding onto my TBR, because there's quite a large stack of books that I need to get through today. So I'm just going to jump straight into the books. So the first stack of books is 4 books in a series, and this is the Touch of Darkness series by Scarlett St. Clair. And this is a Hades and Persephone retelling, which I've actually already read A Touch of Darkness. I gave it 3 stars, but for some reason I'm like really drawn back into this world, so I still want to give the second book a chance. Because even though I didn't really enjoy the first book, I'm hoping that I like the second book a whole lot more. But the thing that I'm fearful of, the reason why I think I might not like it, is because it's going to be exactly the same story as we saw in A Touch of Darkness, but from Hades' perspective. Which is, I think the next one is, A Game of Fate. No, sorry, A Game of Retribution. Is that the next one? Or is it... No, it's A Game of Fate. So this one I think is the sequel. So I do want to pick up the sequel. And these will be read. I'm not going to reread this one because with this being the exact same story just from Hades' perspective, I'm hoping that by reading this book, it will make me remember what happened in this one. So that's why I've decided to give these books another chance, because I might like them if I read them again, but I'm not really sure. So I wasn't prepared to get rid of them yet. Then the next book I decided to keep was The Untainted by Lillian T. James. The main reason I decided to keep this book is, number 1, it's a fantasy romance, and then 2, this edition is just stunning. And even though I don't own the sequel, I still want to give this book a chance before I actually get rid of this book. But I might keep it just because of how stunning it is and just not have matching edition, which kills me. But it will be fine because, like, look at it. It's just, everything about this book just speaks to me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's all grey, and then we've got, like, a dagger, which, when reflecting the light, it shows a rainbow, which you can see. It's just a really pretty book, so I need to give it a shot. Now, moving on, the next book I want to talk about is Court of Dragons by Forrest K. Because it's got the word dragons in the title, I'm hoping I'll enjoy it because I really want to read a dragon fantasy romance. And I know I've still got Fourth Ring I need to read, but I decided I might as well keep this book and then just give it a chance because I might want to pick it up one day. Now moving on to the next book is A Kingdom of Stars and Shadows by Holly Renee. I'm just going to give this book a shot because it's a really pretty edition and it's a fantasy romance. I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot throughout this video. Or maybe not so much as I move on. So I just want to give this book a shot because I love this edition and I still am interested in it, even though I don't remember what it was about. It's just the title really stands out to me, like A Kingdom of Stars and Shadows. It just sounds so incredible. And that really tells you nothing about the book. I just need to give it a shot and see if I enjoy it. And I just wanted to keep it for the moment. But with that being said, I might read these books, and if I don't enjoy them, I will be unhauling them. There's no question about it. But even if I enjoy them and I can't get the sequels, I might unhaul it. It just really depends on how much I enjoy the first book. Well, I enjoy the books I read. So then the next book is a book I've actually already started reading before in the past and then just stopped reading it. I don't exactly remember why, but that book is The Devil Makes Free by Tori Bovolino. So I think I got like 100 pages in and then just put it down. I think it was when I was in my worst stage of my reading slump. So from what I remember about this book, I did enjoy it. But I think, as I said, because of my reading slump, I put it down. So I'm hoping that when I pick it up again, I'm going to enjoy it a whole lot more. Because I've really fallen in love again with reading. So I'm hoping with me loving reading again, it's going to make me like this book more. Then the next book is a book I'm so glad I didn't get rid of because it's blurbed by one of my favourite authors of all time, and that is Forestborn by Elaine Audrey Becker. So in this book, it's got like a section which says praise from authors. So we've got a section by Juliet Marilla right at the very top, and Juliet Marilla is one of my favourite authors of all time. So I need to read a book that she's given praise to, because it's like, I love her so much as an author, so I'm really hoping that the books she likes I enjoy as well. So I decided I definitely need to keep Forestborn, and this is the book off this list I'm probably the most grateful I didn't get rid of. Then the next book is The Witch Haven by Sasha Payton Smith. So the main reason I decided to keep it was because in the synopsis it says, oh, it's all dusty. That's filthy as. Sorry. Going back to the synopsis, it says, in 1911, New York City. So I'm really excited to be reading a book set in 1911. I'm like hoping that it's a really cool setting, and it's just like that. Knowing it's set in that time period has made me want to pick it up. Now moving on to the next book is Blood Scion by Deborah Falley. I just kept this book because of the cover, if I'm honest, and I just want to give it a shot. There's literally nothing I can really say about this book because I don't know anything about the plot. It's just this cover spoke to me. I was like, maybe I shouldn't get rid of it. So I decided I'm not ready to part with it, which is why I kept it. The next book is Within the Wicked Walls by Lauren Blackwood. And I did want to read this book. Like, it was on my Goodreads TBR for a while. But then I got this edition from the Fable Crate, and it's just the ugliest book I own. Like, I think this cover is so ugly. I love the sprayed edges, but it's so ugly. But I'm not prepared to get rid of this book until I've read it, because I'm still interested in giving it a shot. And another reason I'm getting rid of this book is because it's severely damaged here. So once I've read this book, it'll be getting unhauled, but for the moment, I will be keeping it. Now, the next book I've decided to keep is Of Shadow and Moonlight by Luna Laurier. This is just another fantasy romance, and I want to keep it because it's a fantasy romance. Otherwise, I would have unhauled it, so I don't really have anything else to say, which I haven't already said throughout this video, so I'm going to stop talking about this book here. Then I've got A Face of Wrath and Flame by K.A. Tucker. I will definitely be unhauling this book once I've read it, just because this edition, it feels like it weighs a brick because of the paper they use. It's like magazine paper, so it's just really heavy. It's like you're holding up probably 5 books at once. That's the weight of this one singular book. And I didn't buy the Bookish Box version of the series continuation and their new edition of A Face of Wrath and Flame. So I'm like, I'm not going to keep this book if I can't get a matching edition, but I still want to read it. So I'm keeping my hands on the physical copy so I can read this edition and then buy the paperback if I enjoy it. The next book is a fantasy, and that is The City of Dusk by Tara Sim. I just want to give this book a shot. I'm not really certain I'm going to love it, but I don't really want to be unhauling special editions of books I haven't read yet. I'm like, I've spent money on them, so I want to give them a chance, which is why I decided to keep this one. Then the next books I've got are 2 books which are a part of a series, and they are Fireheart and Brightheart by Emma Ham. I've actually started reading Fireheart before, but I don't remember what it's about. But I remember enjoying what I read, so I'm like, I'm going to keep these and then give them a second shot. If I don't finish them again, I'm going to unhaul them. But if I do manage to finish them, I will be keeping them. No, I won't be keeping them. I'll be buying the paperback and then unhauling these ones. The next book is The Midnight Girls by Alicia Jaskinski. I think the reason I decided to keep this one is because I think it's a lesbian romance. Well, maybe one of the characters is bisexual, but I think 2 females end up together in this book. And when I read the synopsis, from what I remember, if this is the book I'm thinking of, it's about 2 girls who are fighting for the prince. Yeah, it says they're 2 rivals who both have their sights set on the prince's heart. So I think as they're fighting for this prince's heart, they're going to fall in love, which sounds like an interesting plot because I've never really read a book like that before. So that's why I want to give this book a shot. And then the next book is another book I've started before, and that is This Woven Kingdom by Tahara Murphy. I remember really enjoying what I read of it, but for some reason I decided to unhaul it, which I remember the reason why as I was saying that. I decided to unhaul this because I didn't get the special edition of the sequel, but because I haven't finished reading this book, I still want to read this edition that I've got before buying the paperback, because it's like, why would I buy the paperback when I've already got an edition that I can read and then get rid of. So that's why I'm keeping this book for the moment. The next book is Monsters Born and Made by Tanvi Burwa, I don't know. And the reason I'm keeping this book, I've said that so many times in this video and I'm so sorry, but it's because there's monsters in the sea, so it just sounds like an interesting book. But I'll definitely be unhauling this edition if I enjoy it or even if I dislike it, because I think this book cover is so ugly. I just really dislike this dragon. So, and even like the reversible dust jacket, I didn't think I liked. Oh, wait. No, the reversible dust jacket's not a reversible dust jacket. It's just other artwork. So, I'll be reading this book because I'm still interested in the plot of this novel. But I just don't want this edition. So, I want to read the edition I've got before getting rid of it. Then the next book I'm keeping is a book I actually don't think I'll like, and that is God Killer by Hannah Kana. And I'm really scared that I'm not going to enjoy this book, but because of how stunning this edition is, I'm not prepared to not give it a shot, especially because I can still get the sequel. So I'm like, I want to read God Killer to see if I love it, and then if I do, I'll buy the sequel. But I don't think I'm going to. But I'm trying to go into this with an open brain. Open brain? An open mind. So we're now up to the last stack of books I've decided to keep, which is 4 books which are a part of a series, and that is the Zodiac Academy. Oh, let me grab them for you. Out of all of the books on this list, other than Forest Bond, this is probably the series I want to give another shot to, because I haven't actually read them. And I'm really disappointed because I didn't manage to get the second half of this series in the special edition. So it's going to bother me that I've got the first books in special edition and then not the second half. So if I enjoy them, I might end up unhauling these and then getting the paperbacks. But I love these editions so much. Like, the stenciled edges are some of my favourite. And then we've got pictures on the back. Oh, you can't really see that, but I can't be bothered showing you. And then, like, the dust jackets are stunning. So I want to give this book series a shot, but I'm scared I'm not going to like it because I think it's got a bully romance in it. So I'm not necessarily certain that's going to work for me. But I'm going to stop talking here now because I've got no more books to talk about. So I'm just going to wrap this video up now by saying I hope to see you next time, and bye.